3. Hello, Pioneer fans. We're here with Point Park University Volleyball head coach Mike Bruno, getting ready for the 2013 season. Coach, I want to welcome you in and thank you for taking the time for this preseason interview talking about the Pioneers.
Thank you, Kevin. Thanks for having us.
Okay, we'll jump right into it. You've been practicing for about a week and a half now. Got to campus last Monday. What are your general thoughts of this year's team and the season outlook?
This year's team, it's a lot of new faces. I think we lost some height from past rosters, but we more than overcompensated this year with athleticism. So we've had a good first week in the gym, and we're looking forward to opening up here this weekend coming up.
Talk to us a little bit, Coach, about the changing of the guard a little bit of Point Park Volleyball. You lost 9 seniors from last year that made up mainly the same core of the roster the last 4 years, and 7 of those 9 seniors were letter winners, important starters. What's going on there with the fact that you're just so new and you lost so many players?
Well, I think reflecting on my coaching career thus far, I would have to put this recruiting class as one of the tops of in my coaching career. We got some great kids into the program, some junior college transfers, a Division II transfer, and one of the top players locally here in the WPIL. So I think that. I think that although those seniors had a great impact on the program, I don't think we're going to skip a beat as far as the direction of the program.
Last year's seniors, did they put volleyball at Point Park on the map, so to speak, or did they establish a name around the NAIA, or what's their legacy, and what does this year's team have to continue on?
Well, thus far, I think that I don't know. They had 4 consecutive 30-win seasons. Maybe a 29 win in there, but yeah, they had 120 some.
It was 3 out of 4 30-win seasons, and played in the conference finals 3 or 4 times, and national tournament. Definitely a huge showing that they had. But what is their legacy, Coach, that they left behind?
Well, I think that they raised the bar, and the expectation for the program is Our goal as a coaching staff is to get better every year. Those kids definitely elevated our program in the past 4 years, and they have taken our program to the next levels. And we dipped into the NAIA national ranking for the first time, while they were here, and I think that they paved the way for better things to come.
Now, you talked about the new recruits. A lot of them are junior college type players or NCAA transfers that could come in and play right away, and you got some new freshmen that could make an impact right away. And you also have the returning veterans that are taking on expanded roles or becoming starters for the first time. Do you think that you have enough on your roster to continue where last year's team left off?
Yeah, I absolutely. I feel that we're very athletic, and I think that our roster is pretty deep in some of the positions, and so I think that although our schedule is very challenging, I think that these kids are up for the task.
How has the first week and a half of practice gone? What are you working on at this point of the season?
Well, with all the new faces, there's a lot of there's a lot of teaching that goes on with it. I kind of got the luxury of having that senior class. That a lot of those kids impacted our program for 4 years. With our new situation this year, we're teaching a lot of our team systems. We're teaching a lot of we're tweaking some things technically with these kids, and more importantly, I think the 2 big things is instilling the culture of our program into these newcomers, and having them buy into our philosophies.
You talk about philosophy or motto, so to speak. There's a huge emphasis in your program on defense. Tell us about that. Elaborate a little bit and how it plays into your emphasis and what you want to go about with the team day in and day out.
Well, it's the first thing we went over on day one. As soon as we got into the gym, we broke things down, grassroots levels with our defensive assignments and how our system works. And created a lot of visual aids for the kids to understand it, and we continue to build upon that every day in the gym. So we're very defensive oriented, and that's part of the culture that I spoke of earlier. We want to put a real hard-nosed, gritty product defensively on the floor day after day.
Is there a certain strength of this year's team, be it at the net, on the block, or some big hitters, or ball control, or back row, or is it too early to tell, or what are some strengths?
I just want to say overall athleticism. These kids, ball handling, ball control. I think we got some nice arms at the net. Defensively, our backcourt looks very promising. So, with that being said, we're not quite. We don't have the size that we have in the past, but I think we've compensated with athleticism.
Let's change gears a little bit and talk personnel. Who are some players that you're looking to for leadership? Perhaps your senior captains.
Yeah, our two senior captains are Nicole Wursel. She's going to be our right side, and then Chelsea Kakich is going to be one of our outside hitters this year. They're getting their feet wet as well in the leadership roles, and the coaching staff is meeting with them regularly and just going over expectations of what it means to be a team captain and how they need to embrace our philosophies and everything. So, but they're two great young ladies, and I think they're doing a great job thus far.
Right, because they've been starters their whole career, but they've had those upperclassmen ahead of them that they've never had to be the voice. Is Kakich ready for a big year as outside hitter number one, and is Nicole ready for a big senior year to cap her career off?
Yeah, I would like to think so. Chelsea come into camp probably in her best physical shape I've ever seen her in her 4 years here, and Nicole continues to just put up great numbers in practice on that right side. So I'm looking for big things out of those two.
Continuing on with some personnel, you have a new setter, sophomore Kara Bradley. Tell us about her development, and this is her first starting job. Is she ready for that?
Kara is continuing to get better and better every day. Fortunately, we got another guy on staff this year, Kellen Petrone, who's helping us out, and Kellen specializes in training setters, and he's been working with Kara and Barbara, and they've taken steps, huge steps already in the first week of training, and Kellen's a great resource to have on staff, and he's doing a great job with them. Kara continues to get better and better and better, and we're looking to continue her development and her ability to lead our offense.
Do you feel like your offense is in good hands with her going into the season opener?
Yeah, Kara's a volleyball player. She plays year-round. She's real active in grass doubles tournaments year-round, and she gets it. She comes from a volleyball family, so she's a student of the game, and I'm looking for big things out of her. She brings a nice element to our offense.
Let's continue going around the court and talking some positions. Middle hitter, who do you have there? What does the depth chart at middle hitter look like?
We got two junior college transfers that are going to be in the middle for us. Chris Chavez out of Indian Hills Junior College, and then Roxanne Grunmeyer is coming out of DMAC in Iowa. Those two look like they're going to be our starting middles this season.
What are their strengths? What do they bring? What kind of players are they? I know Chris is 6'3", and Roxanne's very athletic.
Yeah, Chris had put up some great numbers in her at her JUCO blocking, and I think we're continuing to work and tweak some things with her. And Roxanne's one of those kids that you could put anywhere on the net. She's a real athletic kid, and she continues to get better and better every day in practice in her capacity as a middle hitter.
Now, in the outside hitter position, you have Kakich at OH1. Who's behind her, some of the other outside hitters?
Shiloh Simonson won the other position in camp, and Shiloh is a freshman from Peters Township. Shiloh was an all-state outside hitter on the AAA level, the highest level here in Pennsylvania. But she is a hard-nosed kid, an all-around six rotation kid, and she's bringing a lot to the table, and so we're looking for some nice things out of Shiloh as well.
And who else? Are there other outside hitters that could see time?
Yeah, Izzy Vavrick is she's right there. She's competing. She is she's continuing to fight. She'll get some opportunities as well. Um, and then Paige Baker is more of a defensive specialist, but she rounds out our depth chart on the outside.
Switching over to right side hitter, you have Wursel as the first opposite there. Anybody else in the mix?
Nicole and Cortano redshirted for us last year, and she's kind of like Nicole Wursel's understudy. So
Yeah.
she continues to get better every day as well.
Now let's talk about defense. That back row had been in the hands of the three main players the last 4 years, really. It's a totally different look. Who's new there, whether it be transfers or up-and-comers, sophomores, or freshmen?
Looks like Olivia Fisher is going to get the shirt, the libero shirt. Olivia is also a junior college transfer from DMAC, Roxanne's former teammate and current teammate, I guess. But and then looking on one of our starting D-specs on left back is going to be Paige Baker. Paige transferred into us from nearby Seton Hill Division II program. And right now, we have Kelsey Veit is competing for time on the right back position. Again, like players like Izzy Vavrick and Dana Fitzgerald, they're all right there too, competing for time.
What do you need most from those players? Ball control, that first contact, or that you emphasize hugely. What is the main thing that they need to do back there?
Yes. All of the above, yeah. It's we got to control the ball. We got to keep the ball off the floor. The first contact dictates a lot of the rally and each subsequent exchange. So, those kids. I think our ball control is, knock on wood, has been pretty good thus far in camp, and we continue to emphasize it. And those kids are working hard. And like I said, there's just some very good athletes on the team this year. I'm really excited about that.
And you see the athleticism in the back row as well? Those kids can move and have strength and everything like that?
Absolutely. Yeah, they're very athletic, good hand-eye coordination. They could track a ball, find the ball, and they're very instinctually defensively, which is something you can't teach. We can teach our systems, but you can't teach instinct.
Coach, your pick to win the KIAC preseason favorite. You might crack the preseason top 25 later on this week. Do you put a lot of stock in that, or is it more about getting on the court and getting it done in conference or what have you?
Fortunately, we have a definitive path to the national tournament this year. The KIAC has, being that we picked up Indiana Kokomo in our conference, we have 12 schools sponsoring volleyball now. So our conference is going to get 2 bids. So, with that being said, we're going to take care of business. I believe we'll have approximately 40 matches to do so. Raters rate, coaches coach, and players play. So, we have to get it done on the court day in, day out.
Coach, you're challenging yourself, playing a lot of good NAIA teams, be it away or neutral courts. You have only 7 true home matches. What's the hope in doing that, and what challenge does that bring to the team?
Well, right now where we are, we're knocking on the top 25. We want to start playing some of these teams. Until we can consistently stay there, it's going to be tough to get some of these teams to come to Pittsburgh, because geographically we're one of the furthest east teams in the NAIA. So with that being said, if we want to play these teams, we have to travel. Fortunately, we have some Division II teams that we could host, and then our conference tournament or conference matches, regular season, which is part of the equation as well. But there really is no method to the madness in the scheduling. I'd love to have more home matches, but in order for us to take that next step within the NAIA ranks, we have to play some of these top teams. And like I said, until we've earned our keep year after year on that pool, we're going to have to travel to whether away or at neutral sites.
And lastly, Coach, with all that being said about the schedule, what's the importance of getting off to a good start? Are you concerned record-wise, or are you more concerned about with the newness of your team just playing good volleyball? Or what are your thoughts going into these first couple weekends? You have a huge the early bird tournament. There's a lot of good teams there and so forth. Your own tournament coming up.
Well, I think the big thing with opening up with all these new faces, these kids need to gel as a team and create a team identity. You know, each team's different from year to year, and we need to mold that team identity and get a good understanding for what we're about and how we do business. But fortunately, we open up on Friday up at Michigan-Dearborn. Our first day is not nearly as tough as our second day. Day 2, we play 2 last year qualifiers of the national tournament, one being Madonna, who I believe was in the top 15 in the final ranking last year.
All right, very good, Coach. I want to thank you for joining us. This has been Point Park Volleyball head coach Mike Bruno taking the time out for a preseason interview. Pioneers open the season August 23rd and 24th, this Friday, Saturday, at the Early Bird Tournament hosted by Michigan-Dearborn. Coach, thanks a lot, and we'll be checking in with you as the season goes along.
Thank you, Kevin.